Good morning, St. Francis, and good morning, people of God. It is Thursday, the 23rd day of November, 2023, Thursday of the 33rd week in Ordinary Time, the 33rd week of the year. It is also Thanksgiving Day here in the United States, so happy Thanksgiving to everybody. May you recognize all of those great things in your lives to be thankful for, because there are sometimes many that go unnoticed in our lives, and that we need to take time, especially today, to recognize them. There are special readings for Thanksgiving Day in the United States. They are all about giving thanks and being thankful for everything that you have. The readings for today, for the rest of the world, and that you might hear at another kind of a mass, are not so great. But they are perhaps important again as we continue to move to the close of our liturgical year, to be able to contemplate that along with Thanksgiving. So Maccabees continues. This is the story of Mattathias, who is one of the leaders in a city. I think that begins with an M. I forgot what the name of it is. But the emissaries of King Antiochus come there, and they want to enforce again the commands of Antiochus to suppress Judaic practice and to continue with the Hellenization, the Greek making of Israel. And Mattathias basically opposes them, and opposes them again in a way that is violent and that is deadly. And so he kills the messengers and everybody else like that. And as the narrative goes, again, because he is filled with zeal for the Lord. And so being filled with the zeal for the Lord means that he kills those who are trying to suppress, again, the life of Judaism that is being practiced there. And this is where it becomes, this very complicated kind of situation. Again, the child of peace who is going to be born for us at Christmas, the one who is supposed to bring peace to the world, is also part of this Godhead that is filling these people with this zeal for killing those who are trying to hurt them. But then again, Jesus will come in and talk about turning the other cheek and everything else like that. But then yesterday we hear in the gospel how that master of the that king who had those servants or had those citizens who didn't want to have him king anymore, has them slain before his eyes. So again, it's all very complicated. And again, trying to read through Jesus in one way, in one line, is never easy. So do not just basically read the Gospels from beginning to end without any kind of interpretation or thought, because it will just drive you crazy and you will just abandon it all, because sometimes it doesn't make any sense. And today it kind of doesn't make sense. But the understanding, again, that's coming from the book of Maccabees is that this people are not going to give in easily, to what is being done to them. And Mattathias flees the city with his sons and everybody else like that, and these will become the Maccabees. And they go into the mountains to be able to regroup themselves. Other people follow them into the deserts to leave the cities. Because they will refuse to be under the oppression of Antiochus and his people and his armies, again, that are trying to eradicate Judaism, and make it into a Greek city-state, or make Israel into a Greek, or Jerusalem into a Greek city-state. Again, so it's a very complicated story that is not easily understood and not easily explained away and not easily reasoned with, because, again, it seems to fall in opposition to everything that Jesus of Nazareth will teach us about relating to those who harm us and who hurt us. Love everyone, including your enemies. Again, it's a part of Luke's Gospel in chapter 6, and how that kind of will translate into how the Maccabees are dealing with what's going on might not be very consistent. But again, this is a part of our faith journey, is a part of salvation history, and it is something, again, that we need, to recognize and to wrestle with, and perhaps to be grateful in our own day and age, in which we might be able to find other ways of dealing with those who try to harm and try to hurt us. In the Gospel today, it doesn't get any better, because, well, it doesn't get any better, but there is also this interesting kind of caution or admonition to what is not being done. And so Jesus is coming close to Jerusalem, and again talking again to the scribes and Pharisees about the end times and about what is in store for them. And he basically says, if you knew the ways of peace, you would not experience the destruction that is going to be imminent upon you. And Jesus is actually giving right now a foreshadowing of the destruction of Jerusalem by the Roman armies, which will happen a couple of decades, after him, because Judaism again puts up a resistance to Roman oppression and to Roman occupation. But unfortunately, it leads to the leveling of Jerusalem, the destruction of the temple, and everything that was Judaism, and then sends Judaism into the diaspora, having Judaism flee, to all corners of the Mediterranean and of the known Roman world. Again, but Jesus says, if you knew the way to peace, you could avoid this. But because you don't, then you must experience, the harm and the destruction that comes upon you. Again, chilling words in many ways, but words, again, that still ring true perhaps even today in the world in which we live, in the life in which we live. We know the ways to peace. We know how to bring peace. Will we work for it? Will we try to establish it? Will we try not to give up on it? To be thankful for what it is that we have on this Thanksgiving Day means that we know what it is that allows for that thanks to continue, that gratitude to continue, which is not only just for us and for those closest to us, but is meant to be for all people, for all nations, for all of those who exist on this planet that is God's, that belongs to God, that was created by God, and whom God wants it to move into its fullness. A blessed Thanksgiving, a happy day, St. Francis and people of God. May the Lord give you his peace.